Hi, I'm Deanna. I'm a senior. I study political science and psychology, and I'm also an involvement coach.
Hello, my name is Chiara. I'm also an involvement coach with student engagement activities, and I am a sophomore studying sustainability studies and minoring in French and Spanish.
Hi everyone, my name is Vanessa and I am a senior and my major is biology and I am on the pre-med track and I am also an involvement coach.
Hello, my name is Pauline. I'm a junior on biochemistry major on the pre-med track.
Hi everyone, my name is Julie. I'm a senior, bio major, social minor, pre-med, president of the BSU. I just did a presentation like 2 seconds ago.
I think like all of us were in that.
Yeah,
Good
thank you guys for
job.
coming. Thank you so
Y'all
much.
were shout out to
Yeah,
you.
that was great. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
And your whole team. Everyone was amazing.
Thank you, I'll let them know.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Hi everyone, my name is Shania. I'm a sophomore studying economics, and I'm also an involvement coach with student engagement.
Hi guys, my name is Janelle. What's the intro? Oh, I'm a senior civil engineering major. I'm the president of Cadence Step Team, and I think that was it, right? Yeah.
So we get to start.
All right, so hello everyone. Welcome to our Values and Leadership Conference segment.
Maybe.
Ooh, Melissa, could you? Thank you. So today we're going to be going into our values, and like Drew had mentioned before, sidetrack a little bit. That was an incredible presentation that we got from our keynote speaker. But we're not gonna go as deep into our values as she necessarily did, but we're gonna talk about them in a way that applies to our roles in our leadership positions here on campus. And as you have become aware, the core values of a person or an organization are their fundamental beliefs, and they really help to guide you in making your decisions and leading you towards what you believe to be right and wrong. And there are many types of core values. Some include reliability, loyalty, honesty, creativity, innovation, but having a greater understanding of your values really enhances, as well as enhances your leadership role, and as well as the relationships that you develop in your role. And it also provides you with more clarity in identifying your goals in your role. So now we are going to be working on identifying our values using your intuition. So this is all about using your gut. These will be timed, and I ask that everyone takes out a piece of paper or uses a computer and a writing utensil, and just give me a thumbs up right in the chat when you're all ready to go. And then... All right, so we have 45 seconds. I'm going to be timing you to list your top 10 values. And on the count of 3, I will let you go. So 3, 2, 1, and you can go. No, I'm not going to do that because that's intense. And again, this is time so that you're really using your gut in deciding these and identifying and sort of narrowing down your values. You have 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Alrighty, and that time is up. So now you're going to cross out 3 from that list, and you will have 30 seconds to do this. And from here, we're really narrowing it down. to get to our top 5. So I will start you again in 3, 2, 1. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alrighty. And then lastly, you're going to cross out another 2 from that list to really create this 5 core values that you will be identifying and will be reflecting on throughout the rest of the presentation, as well as in regards to your leadership style and your positions. So you have 20 seconds starting now. And 2, 1, and then you're done. So these are what Drew even had mentioned, that these values are what should be tattooed on your heart. You're really making you, you, and with understanding them, and it gives you more clarity in understanding your roles and your goals in your roles. So next, we are going to be going on to Deanna's part of the presentation, where she will be going over identifying your leadership styles.
Okay, so like we said in the title of the presentation, part of what we want to give to you today is figuring out what your dominant leadership style is. So again, that same pen and paper are going to be very useful for this. So how it's going to go is that I'm going to give you 12 statements total, and I want you to rate on a scale of 1 being strongly disagree and 5 being strongly agree, how much you agree or disagree with said statement. And each statement is going to correlate with one of 3 leadership styles. So at the very end, once you have your results, we're going to explain what these mean, some strengths and weaknesses, and values associated with all of these. So don't worry about that for now. Just tell me for each statement, we're going to do them one at a time, how you feel. And for clarity, before we start, write down 1 to 12 on your paper so that you can organize each of them so it doesn't get too crazy. Okay, the first one, members must be supervised closely to ensure they complete their work. So from a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being strongly disagree and 5 being strongly agree, how much do you agree or disagree with that statement? Give everyone a couple of seconds to answer. Okay. 2, in complex situations, leaders should, I can't see the entire, there we go, should let members work out problems on their own. Trying to sort this so I can see the entire thing. Also, if I'm going too fast or you want me to go back, just let me know in the chat or just unmute. Next. 3, members want to be a part of the decision-making process. All right. 4, leadership requires staying out of the way as members do their work. All right, moving on. Most members want frequent and supportive communication with their leaders. All right. 6, most members feel insecure about their work and need direction. Okay. 7, leaders should help members accept responsibility for completing their work. All right. 8, leaders should give members complete freedom to solve problems on their own. Moving on. 9, in most situations, members prefer little input from their leader. Okay. 10. Ooh. I can't see it. Effective leaders give orders and clarify procedures. Okay. And last one, if given a task, people will do a good job. All right, is everyone finished? Give me a thumbs up or nod. Cool. All right, so let's talk about what your results are based on those. So this is where listing it out 1 to 12 helps, because 4 questions each will apply to one specific leadership style. So to the side, I want you to add up questions 1, 6, 10, and 11. So whatever results you got for those, and that score is your authoritarian style. For 3, 5, 7, and 12, those are that total is for your democratic style. And for 2, 4, 8, and 9, those add up to your laissez-faire style. So while you guys are doing that, I don't know how long it'll take, but just to explain what those might mean, like it says on the slide, each category, you want to see what range you're in. So if you have a score of 0 to 7 for one of these styles, that would be considered a low range. 8 to 14 is considered a mid-range, and 15 to 20 is considered a high range. So like, let's say, for example, for questions 3, 5, 7, and 12, you strongly agreed with every single one of them. You were 5 all across the board, you'd have a 20. You'd be very strong in that specific leadership style. So has everyone added up? They know what their scores are? Okay, cool. So you might be wondering then, is there an ideal leadership style? Which one should I strive to become? And the answer is, there is no ideal leadership style. So all of these styles have strengths and weaknesses in different situations. All of them have things that you want to accomplish in certain situations. You want to be able to adapt in all kinds of scenarios. The best kinds of leaders are the ones who can acknowledge what they do best in, work on the things that they need help with, and also take from other styles that they're not as dominant in order to best help their members and best lead their club. So we're going to get more into what these specific leadership styles mean and what are some of the strengths, weaknesses, and values associated with each. So that is to Arlene.
Thank you. That was a great part. So here we're talking about the authoritarian and / autocratic leadership style. So this specific leadership style means that you would have complete control over the organization's decisions. And I just wanted to ask, does anyone have any idea of what values could possibly represent this style? So like going back to what we did in the beginning of like the values, what ways can be represented in this style? Does anyone have any idea of what values could possibly be part of the leadership style of authoritarian? Okay, thank you guys. So this is basically, so if you could go to press the next button. Like, so I think what I think like the values could possibly be, like if you press the, yeah. What values could possibly be is the transparency, responsibility, reliability, and consistency. So I think that responsibility and transparency is critical in this style because as you being the sole decision maker, you will handle the commitments of the role by making decisions for the group. And by making those decisions of the group, you also have to be communicating honestly and holding yourself accountable for any issues that come up. So it's a very important leadership style. The next slide. So some strengths and weaknesses that could come up for this style is, for strengths, is that you would have clear definitions of the expectations for e-board members. So for some, this may be a right way for them to work. Additionally, you can also lead new e-board members well with hands-on guidance, and your decisions are made quickly during a changing environment. Additionally, there could be also weaknesses on this, such as having pressure on the leader, and this may lead to burnout. So having all this pressure of decision-making, not being able to rely on your group leaders could lead to burnout. Additionally, this could also lead to resentment and low emotional connection to the club. Since not everyone is giving into the same amount they're giving in, they won't be all looking for the output as well. Another way that this could also lead to weaknesses is it may lead to a lack of new ideas and input from others. And for the democratic participative leadership style, tiered decisions are made as a group, and everyone is encouraged to participate in the decision process. Does anyone have any idea of what values are represented in this leadership style? Did anyone get this one as like their dominant one that feels like, you know, this is kind of me, this kind of just makes sense for me? Does anyone could like talk about maybe their experience with it? Okay.
I think, sorry.
Okay, yeah, go.
Okay. I think this kind of style would match me more, because personally for me, if I'm the only one talking in like a conference meeting room, I get insecure. So I need different people's input, and I think one value that would really fit into the style is like communication, because I really value that, and I really value when other people communicate their opinions on whatever's going on.
Can anyone relate to that as well? That's really, I can definitely see for other members as like Stony Brook president or whatever leadership that you hold, being able to like having a communication is definitely something that's important. Does anyone have anything to relate?
Yeah, I also agree with what Pauline said, because when it comes to me, like I've been on both sides. I've been the one that just has to sit back and watch the leader take all full control, and like that feels weird to me because I feel like I don't have an input, and it makes me feel like it scares me to say anything because like the leader wants to take full control. But then I've also been the leader in the case, and every time I'm a leader, I don't consider myself like a leader because I always take the input of everyone else. So I'd really say like communication too. But I'd also put reliability, because then you're showing that you're there to like for them to rely on to like involve their input in certain decisions. Sorry for the phone ringing.
Okay. I know, Julie, that you wanted to say something too.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I'm kind of in between the authoritative and democratic leadership styles. It's situational for me. Like if I see like things are not getting done, that's when I become the authoritarian. But if I see that everybody, I think it's really important, especially as a president, your purpose is not necessarily to lead or to take control of everything, but see where people have their strengths and allow them to play to that. You know, that's what the purpose of a leader is. So it's situational for me, but I think the democratic way of leadership tends to be the most effective for me. But yeah.
Yeah, we could definitely agree. Like as Deanna said, it's about the balance. There's no one perfect style. There's not like, okay, you have to do authoritarian, and everyone's group is different. Not every person can lead with a democratic style and be as effective. So it's very important to have like these discussions with your groups and even say like, hey, do you think this is working for you? Like, is this like the way that we're structuring? Would you need more structure? Do you find some other ways? So it's really great to find that balance, and I'm happy that you found that. So now, like reveal some of the values that we wrote down, and like it's kind of related to what you guys said: cooperation, reliability, open-mindedness, and honesty. All these kind of things that you guys say of like, because while you're in a democratic style, you also have to give that true opinion of like to every person of the group. So thank you guys for that great input. So some of the strengths and weaknesses in this style is that one of the strengths is building team-based relationships. Additionally, you will also encourage creativity, and e-board members will be more connected to the mission of the club. So they're all working towards it. They're all giving them the same amount of input, so they're all looking for the same amount of output. Some other weaknesses that this could bring is that they may never reach a true consensus. So this may be without clear leadership structure, and it may lead to disruption. So like maybe since everyone's giving the same amount of input, they don't feel like they have the right person to go to when there's a problem. So bringing up that clear leadership structure could be a way to like improve this, or if without some kind of clear leadership structure, it could lead to disruption for some groups. And decisions are not made quickly during a changing environment. Since everyone is giving the same amount of input for decisions, it's important to like give those important opinions during a changing environment. I don't know if you hear the crying baby, but it's okay. I'll keep on going. Next person. Okay. Another one we have is the laissez-faire and / delegating leadership style. In this leadership style, you're empowering your team to make decisions and to organize its own processes. And does anyone who got this style can relate some of their own values that can relate to this? Or like, it doesn't have to be your dominant style, but like some kind of way that you feel like this is someone that can relate to this style. Okay, so we can just keep on going to the next one. So this one values really rely on trust, creativity, freedom, and resourcefulness. And this strengths and weaknesses, we have strengths where they can support the team with training and resources. And additionally, they encourage innovation and creativity. And as well, it also keeps the big picture in mind. And for some of the weaknesses, our productivity would also decrease. And another thing that this could also bring is no clear point of direction. Not everyone on the team can handle responsibility of this style.
Okay, so we're just going to go to like, the case scenarios, like if you're a leader and, if you find yourself like in this position, so what will you do? So the first scenario is you're the president of a club on campus, and over the past couple of weeks, you've noticed that 2 e-board members have been hostile to one another in both the general body meetings and outside of the club meetings as well. And this has been affecting your club, negatively, as you've not been able to like meet certain deadlines. And in addition to that, the energy of the meetings have been like thrown off between members. It's also like affecting other members, affecting you as a leader as well. So how would you approach this situation and incorporate your values as a leader? So the values that, we selected like at the very beginning of the presentation. So how would you like incorporate that into this situation? Anyone?
I personally would start off with third-party arbitration, just sitting them down, being a mediator between the 2 of them, seeing what's wrong. This is actually I don't know, I've had the situation in a number of e-boards that I've been a part of, and the sooner that you squash it, the quicker the energy goes back to what it's supposed to be, and everybody can be effective. And I think the most effective way to do that is to be the mediator between the 2 people, to see what's wrong, to try to figure out and mitigate the issue.
Agree. Thank you. Anyone else want to say how they all approach the situation? Anyone? Okay. So basically really important, like, Julie said, like, communication like is the key. So, just seeing where it is like between, 2 members, just asking them, the questions like, what's going on or something like that. And you can just like, sit them down and talk things through. Really important thing. Yeah. Okay. So the second scenario is you are a member of an executive board for an on-campus club. So in 1 hour, your board must make an important decision, And while trying to discuss this decision, your board keeps talking over one another and, disagreeing. At this rate, your executive board will be unable to agree on a decision and meet the deadline. So how would you attempt to reach a consensus? Anyone?
Hi. I think in this case, one of the biggest issues would be talking over one another, because I think it's really important for everybody to be heard and for everybody to get their points across. Even if it isn't something that you're necessarily going to agree with, I think everybody should, we should facilitate some way for everyone to just say their piece without being cut off or anything. And then after weighing like pros and cons, maybe go through some sort of voting process, if that's kind of how the club is running. And then in the end, if there's still kind of like a clash, I think that they might have to have just whoever's like the president to ultimately make the decision, because if it does happen to be a situation where everybody is like clashing, then you're gonna have to like reach a consensus in some way anyways.
Thank you so much, Amelia. Anyone else want to add to that? Or does everyone agree? I mean, I agree. Okay, thank you. Okay, so were you surprised by your results? In answering the questions, like using like your values to actually like answer the questions, with the scenarios and everything? Was anyone, like surprised by the results? Okay, we all agree. Okay. Okay, so how do you how do your values align with your leadership styles? Do they differ, or is it, the same?
My dominant leadership style was democratic, and I feel like my values align perfectly with it, because I value the cooperation and the communication, everything that requires being a democratic leader. So that's why I think they align perfectly based on what the presentation said anyways.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. So how do you implement your values in your roles already? Anyone? From the values that you already have, like how would you do that?
So for me,
You go.
Okay. So for me, I was the democratic style. And I think that one of the values that I had was being understanding and open-minded. And I think that would fit in, that would be implemented into this style very well, because if you're going to be taking like different opinions from other people, you have to be able to understand what they're saying. And you have to be open-minded to their criticisms and their input. And yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I think another way, the way that I implement my values through my role. So like I was thinking of, I wrote humor as one of them. Like, I don't know, like it was a good way to like uplift some ways. So like having like that time outside of like e-board meetings, of the same e-board meetings, and finding like time for fun, because like usually like if you're on campus, like we would just hang out after or do something, but now it's like a Zoom meeting. So now you have to find time. So it's a little extra, but it's definitely like finding time to just play the code names or the virtual board games with ourselves, not just with the members, like finding time outside. So I think just being open and, finding that is the way that I'm implementing it in my role already.
Thank you.
I'd also like to pipe in. For me, something that I value a lot is empathy. So trying to put yourself in someone else's shoes. And I think part of the way that I implement that on an executive board is trying to be understanding when people are facing certain difficulties when it comes to performing their role properly. So like if people are having issues, like I try to encourage them, and really everyone on my executive board does this, but in general, we try and encourage everyone to say, don't try and hide your issues. Tell us what's going on so that we can address it, and we can also pick up the slack if necessary. Because I think it's a lot better for somebody to tell you, hey, this thing is going on in my life and I cannot do this specific task. Can you please help me? Versus they don't tell anyone and then their performance might suffer for it. And we might feel like, well, what's going on? You know, so I think just trying to encourage, again, like stuff like openness and communication too, but trying to also understand that people have lives outside of these clubs. So trying to keep that in mind if there needs to be a conversation, and trying to say, hey, if things are going on, we can help you, we can be there for you. We are a team. And at the end of the day, we all want to get these things done. So like, we want to help you if you need help. So that's like for me.
Thank you. And also just to like add, just for mine, I added like patience, because I feel like that is like really important to, just be patient with whoever that you're working with, because you just don't know how it's going in, for them in their lives. And maybe you're just trying to like, teach them something, or you just trying to like get something done. And, they might be like struggling on like so many levels. So I just feel like it's like really important to, be patient with everyone and every member as well. So yeah. Okay, and the last one is, what actions do you think you could take to implement them in your roles? Like, what actions would you like to take to implement them like more effectively every day? Anyone?
I'll chime in a little bit. So Drew really talked about like branding, and coming up with your own brand. And when I thought it was really funny when she brought up the what Cardi are you feeling today, and then she brought up her own version of that. And I think that is something that we in identifying your values and experiencing different situations and different problems that might come up, whether you're an e-board, whether it's in your personal life, it can really, it really helps you to understand and sort of isolate what truly makes you you, so that you can better implement them into your daily life and really brand yourself and really come up with your own way to approach everything, because that will more effectively create you for you. And it's not, what did she say? They said something about if you're trying to be good at everything all the time, you'll never be great at anything. And that is something that I think really attaches itself to this as well, in implementing your values in your roles and implementing them in your daily life all the time. So that's what I took away from that.
Thank you, Kiara. Anyone else?
I think that with the way that I can also implement some of these ideas in our roles, so like having the cooperating and working together. So maybe like doing exercise, like if you can recreate our club again, or like what if you can recreate the mission, like what ways would you want this to be made, like that kind of like working on that kind of ways, like if we were to start over, like that kind of way I would probably do it.
Thank you.
I have a question that we don't have on the slide, but I'm very curious, what was everyone's dominant leadership style? I know some people already said, but if other people are comfortable talking about it, or like putting it in the chat, just out of curiosity. I see some Democratic. I feel like a lot of people got Democratic. Is that, how about do the little clap thing or whatever it is if you got Democratic. Wow, okay. All right. We have a lot, this is a very homogeneous group. Okay. But I guess like since there is a strong focus on the Democratic leadership style, just keep in mind then that it is great because that means that you guys are trying to incorporate your other executive board members or other group members when you're working on a project, which is good and we should be doing that, but also acknowledge some of the weaknesses that we talked about. You want to make sure that you can still keep on track when you're doing something and that you guys can reach a consensus, because when there are more voices involved, it does take more time to come to a decision. And you also want to make sure that you are not ignoring the other benefits of the other leadership styles, because you might lean more on Democrat, but like as other people have mentioned before, like sometimes you might call for authoritarian where you need to make a decision at the end of the day and just do it. Or like what the case study said, you just need to make a decision sometimes. Or with laissez-faire, sometimes you need to back off and let your members do what they need to do, and maybe that'll get you the best result. So like the biggest takeaway from all of this is that you want to make sure you are picking at the right thing to do at the right moment. So like acknowledging what you tend to do and also acknowledging when that might not work. It's great if it works for you most of the time, go forth. I'm sure it works, like you guys have found your rhythm with your respective groups, but also acknowledge sometimes there might call for differences. Sometimes there might call for you to lean into some other kind of style to get things accomplished. Okay, but yeah, that's my whole spiel at the end.
All right, guys, thank you so much. You guys did a great job. I want to thank everybody for being here, being attentive, and thank the involvement coaches for such a great presentation. If you guys want to pop back into the Zoom link that I posted in the chat for a quick wrap up, we really appreciate you hanging out with us today, and we'll see you in the main Zoom room. Bye, guys.
Thank you for coming. Thank you.
Great job, guys.
Thank
Thank you guys so much for coming.
You guys for
I'm gonna just end the meeting. Bye.
Okay, we have some more friends joining us. Let's see if this works.
No, we just finished up, so my room will be here in a few minutes.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Do you see a poll on your screens? Sure do. Awesome. If you could fill that out, that'd be great. Just to get a quick pulse on how it went today. We have 15 people so far. I definitely had a poll in the beginning that I forgot to launch. That's on me. $19, a couple more. Great. So you could all just finish polling, and then I'll sort of get started with the closing of the conference. So from the poll, it seems like you all mostly really enjoyed the conference, and I really appreciate that. Again, this is a little different, a little shorter. We didn't want to have you on Zoom for hours and hours and hours. And we really wanted to make the leadership conference something that was really personal and really focused on personal leadership development, so that once you develop yourself, you can utilize that if you're in a leadership position within your organization, to help your members in your organization move forward. So I really hope you enjoyed it and got something out of it. And I really just want to thank you all for attending the conference, and really thinking about how you can lead by your mission and values, which was our conference theme for this semester. Also, I really just want to thank our presenters for taking the time to do the presentations and spend some time with you all today. I really appreciate them doing that. Just so you all know, after this, in a few minutes, I will be sending out a super short survey to get a little more information on your thoughts of the conference, any feedback you have for us. We're always looking to improve and do better by you all. Whatever sessions you thought were great, some that you maybe want to learn more about, so definitely just let us know. It shouldn't take more than 2 or so minutes. So please, if you could just give us that feedback, that'd be really, really great. And then, as you can see, some of our presenters for today, depending on what sessions you went to, were students and some of our student staff as well. So we're always looking to bring in different conference presenters, whether they be faculty, staff, or students. So if you are interested in presenting in the Spring Leadership Conference, dates to be announced, just click on that link or that QR code and just let us know your name. And then if you have any topic that you're interested in presenting on now, or if you're just like, no, but I think I would want to present and I can work on a topic later, just let me know and I'll reach out to you later this semester to set something up, set up a meeting and talk about your ideas. We're always looking for people to share their knowledge, and it can really be about anything, anything that you feel passionate about, anything that aligns with your values or your mission. You can grab a couple friends and do it as well. And then lastly, just want to say we're always here. Student engagement activities. Again, we moved to the Stony Brook Union. We're in Suite 205. But probably the best way to reach us is via email. You can email either the general email or your program advisor or one of the staff members directly. And we'll get back to you as soon as we can. We can set up Zoom meetings or phone calls, whatever makes the most sense for you. And always follow on SBH. We have a lot that goes up on there, a lot where you can keep updated with what we're doing, the events happening, how you can get involved, and really promoting sometimes other departments and organizations. So follow us on there if you don't already. And I think that's it for me. If you have any questions or just want to stick around and chat, I will be here hanging out for a little bit. Otherwise, I really appreciate you all coming. I love the engagement that I saw throughout the sessions that I was a part of. So thank you again and have a great rest of your weekend.
We got some people sticking around. You're not sick of us yet? Wow.
Hi, Dan. I feel like I haven't seen you all day.
I know. How's everybody?
Good.
It's Friday. I'm pretty excited.
Me too.
Melissa's like ready to turn off her computer.
I'm excited to leave the house this weekend, even though it is just to go to the grocery store.
That's great.
It's the sad life I live.
Hmm.
Great job.
Thank you. Hi, Arlene. Hi, Jacob. What's up?
Hi. I was wondering, so I think this was amazing. And where would we get the videos again? Like the videos for the
Yeah, so probably next week, I'm going to send out an email to all the presenters and have them send me the recordings, and then I will upload them all on our YouTube channel. And I can send an email to everyone who attended once that's up, so you can access them all on there.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you for presenting today. Appreciate it.
Yeah. It all went well. Thank you so much.
Good. Awesome.
Bye.